A very good afternoon and welcome to Loughborough University for today's WBBL Championship action. The Leicester Riders take on the Sevenoaks Suns. A replay of the fixture that we had midweek, and a huge game for Leicester Riders to continue or up the opportunity for their hopes to ride the wave for the WBBL Championship. But the Sevenoaks Suns, a chance to stay perfect. My name is Tahir Hajat. Alongside me today, we have Siobhan Pryor. Siobhan, welcome. How are you getting on today?
I am good. I'm looking forward to this game. And I don't know if Creamash is listening. Just a disclaimer, this does not make me a fan. It just makes me a fan of the WBBL. But I want to see Leicester win it today and push the title race for an extra couple of days.
And from my understanding, it would be Leicester winning or by 12 or more to put themselves in that position, but also then Sevenoaks Suns required to take a loss on the road against the Caledonia Pride, which, as we know, and as you know, a very long journey up north, which can have its effects on you, but also in terms of the magnitude of the two teams, it seems like a likely situation for the Sevenoaks Suns to win the WBBL Championship. Talk to us a little bit about that journey up north and how it could potentially affect them.
Yeah, I mean, well, even when you look at their last game against Caledonia, it was a close one. It wasn't, we would expect, looking at the standings, that it would be, a runaway win for Sevenoaks, but it wasn't the last time round. And, those kids up there, they play hard and they're ready for every single game. They've got a great coaching staff who prepare them well. And it's a tough old journey. It's a tough journey for us, and we're in the middle of the country, so Sevenoaks have got that extra, few hours to go, so you never know.
Exciting players on both rosters. The Riders coming off a road win yesterday against the London Lions. Did the double over them in league play this season. A huge game from Holly Winterburn, over 30 points, and alongside a strong performance from Azania Stewart to drive the Riders into the position they are now. Although it's a back-to-back, what will they take from that position? Yeah,
I think, individually, like Holly's going to take a lot from that game. Obviously, we know she can put up massive points. She averages 15 on the season. And it's just good to see her growing into like a leadership role with this team now after being made captain. And yeah, so I think she'll take a lot of confidence from that, and she'll go into today confident. And then, Azania had a good game as well, but she's just, she's a solid, experienced player. You expect that from her every single time she steps out onto the court. So as a team, it's always good to have a strong win like that going into another tough fixture. So I'm sure it'll just give them the confidence that they need.
Well, let's have a quick look at those rosters all together, in and out. For the Riders, Janaszewska, Erin Hykin, Holly Winterburn, Robin Ainge, Hannah Robb, Maya Brewer, Anna Lappin-Cooper, Zania Stewart, Amber Smith and Emma Morris make the team today. For the Sevenoaks Suns, at full strength, Lavinia Da Silva, Asha Andrews, Renee Bush, Janice Malakana, Zuleika Franklin, Catherine Holm, Mila Stavanic, Tayani Clark, Kat Carr, Millie Stevens, Irene Garrido Perez and Hayley Miller. Their head coach Len Bush, assisted today by Kapil Kumar. So a strong Sevenoaks roster, a strong Leicester Riders roster, and it comes down essentially for us WBBL fans, the opportunity to see these two heavyweights go at it once again. And before I forget, congratulations, Siobhan. 4th place almost secured in the WBBL.
Yes.
And, after some of the setbacks and adversity you faced this year, ready to go for playoffs now.
Yes, we did just lose today against Durham, but, the 4th place was already secured. We got to get a lot of the kids in, a lot of the kids played, so it was really nice to, they give us a lot all season long, and it was nice for them to get some minutes. A
chance for them to be repaid by their seniors, of course, is always a great opportunity. As the starting fives have made their way onto the floor, starting for the Riders, Robb, Janaszewska, Lappin-Cooper, Smith and Winterburn as the players take their knee. And basketball stands united against the front of racism. Get it out of our sport. And starting for the Sevenoaks Suns today, Kat Carr, Clark, Da Silva, Bush, and also starting, I believe, is number 31, Garrido Perez. And it's the Leicester Riders that will get us underway with this one. Big shout out to all of you guys checking in on the YouTube comments. Please let us know your thoughts of today's game. And a few shout outs if you want them. Me and Siobhan are more than happy to welcome them and get involved with the conversation. Lappenkuppe. Early turnover here for the Riders, out of bounds. A Sevenoaks Suns possession.
Just a little bit of miscommunication. Hannah went back door. I don't think Lappenkuppe saw her.
A couple of other games, as mentioned, have taken place in today already. Siobhan's team took on Durham. Fell short a little in that game. Two other games in action. Oakland Wolves against Caledonia Pride. Caledonia in the lead by 3, 36-39. Essex Rebels in the lead against the Cardiff Met Archers, 34-29. We'll keep you updated on those ones.
I think Manchester got that win as well, so I think, if I'm right, that secured them 5th.
And their first 2 points of the game is good for the Riders.
It's nice from KJ. I'm excited to see her grow.
As she has done throughout this season. And strong drive to the basket to Yanni Clark. Onto the left hand, Kat Carr and to Yanni Clark. 2 stalwarts for the Sevenoaks Suns. A duo not to be messed with in any way, shape or form. A very fearsome duet. Here's Lappenkuppe. Here's Smith. Mid-range, looks for the cut inside. Knocked away out of bounds. End line possession for the Riders.
And Kat Carr's been on an absolute tear in the the latter part of the season. She had a couple of triple doubles. She's really playing well right now.
19.1 points per game as Holly Winterburn finds up the 3 off the front of the ring, rebounded by Bush. Renee Bush had a phenomenal game against the Riders in the other end of this fixture earlier on in the week. Shooting the lights out and almost guaranteed them the victory at home for the Sevenoaks Suns.
Yeah, she's great from the 3. You just can't leave it open.
Hannah Robb to the rack. Knocked again, once out of bounds this time for the Sevenoaks Suns.
And another player that's been playing really well for Suns as well is Da Silva inside. She's had a really good second half of the season as well and been a real big presence for them inside, which is something that they've needed.
7.4 rebounds for her per game, alongside 10 points. And we'll be battling against the likes of Azania Stewart and co. Riders have opted a small lineup to start the game. No Ella Clark today.
Yeah, they will miss her.
Garrido Perez fires up the 2. And the Sevenoaks Suns with an early lead, 2-6 the score. 7 minutes 35 here on the clock at Loughborough University. First quarter of this game. Smith fires up the tough shot. Tough angle off the strong hand. Here's Kat Carr. Body fake, nice hands from Smith, catches the ball cleanly. Riders now looking to push forward. Lappenkuppe, Winterburn, pass fake, onto the left hand for 2, picking up where she left off from yesterday.
She is beautiful in the open court, just watching her. She loves that little Euro. Attacks the basket really well, gets what she wants.
3 ball, Bush, first attempt of the game, and it's cash money. Riders can't afford for too many of them to be left wide open.
No, too much space.
Winterburn. Now receives the handoff from Smith. Here's Robb. Kicks it back out to Smith. Smith lines up a 3 of her own. Amber Smith knew it was good from the follow-through. Riders come with a little reply here. Kat Carr stop and pop mid-range for 2.
That's her shot right there. Off the dribble, mid-range jumper.
The scoring rate is phenomenal of the Sevenoaks Suns. Whilst at the beginning of the previous fixture, they missed a lot of their shots. They were taking so many shots and getting so many offensive possessions. It's really tough to stop them, especially when they're making. Here's Winterburn. Now Janaszewska in the corner for 3. Catch and shoot. KJ knocked down from the corner. Nice hands from Lappenkuppe, putting the pressure on Yanni Clark. Clark tries to keep it alive. Turnover. Riders will get it back. And that will be setting the tone of the defense here for the Riders.
That's my kid right there. Come on, KJ. 5 quick points.
Substitution checking into the game. Janaszewska and Lappenkuppe take a breather.
He took her out.
I'm sure Coach Jesper Sundsberg has a plan, a master plan at that.
I'm sure he does.
Stewart Hands it off to Winterburn. Travel violation called. I'm not quite sure Winterburn did leave her pivot foot off the floor, but Neil Wilkinson has a better view and has called it.
Not arguing with Neil.
Here come the Suns. Ball rotation. Clark. Screen comes from De Silva. Clark to the right hand. Throws it high off the glass. Crafty finish.
It's a tough finish, and you know that's what you're going to see now. Z's in the game. She's going to make them change their shots inside, so I think it will have a big impact defensively.
Winterburn now out to Smith. Top of the key. Steps back. Long two. Oh.
She didn't look like she was sure to shoot that, did she?
No, and she won't want to watch that
Did you
one
just
back
say,
either.
ugh?
Yeah, that's the
That was
description.
harsh.
That is neutral and clear commentary. I will describe that as substitution checking into the game. Number 12, Janice Monacana, a walking bucket.
Nightmare off the bench. You know when you're like, oh, okay, breathe there.
Yeah.
And then she comes onto the court.
100%. And she has been phenomenal for the Suns once again this season.
Yeah, she's played well, especially in the showpiece games.
Bush, good closeout from the Riders there. Forced her to take a slightly more difficult shot than usual. Here's Winterburn. Gets it back, drives baseline. Holly Winterburn pushed almost out of bounds by Monacana. Smith fires it up and a foul is, Brewer fires it up and a foul is called. And the foul is called on number 20, Tiani Clark, her first personal, first foul in the game. 10-13 the score, 4 minutes 42 left to play.
Yeah, they've been firing right from the start.
We're going to have some stat support from the YouTube comments today, I tell you that one. We've got a half court in here saying Sevenoaks starting five had 521 WBBL appearances and 6,266 WBBL points between them. That's a lovely stat right there.
Yeah, that shows you why they are where they are right now. They just have so much experience.
De Silva. Keep the stats coming, by the way. He'll be helping me and Siobhan out for sure.
Yeah.
Here's Carr. Now with Bush. To the spin, Renee Bush onto the right hand. Gets it in for two.
You know what I like that about Renee's game now? You can't just call her a shooter. She shoots predominantly from the outside, but she's taking it to the basket hard. It's a great addition to her game.
Stewart, mid-range. Her first shot of the game, rebounded by Clark. Pushing forward now. Tiani Clark kicks it out. De Silva finds Carr, top of the three. Monacana setting the screen. Beautiful bounce pass, unable to find a teammate. Deflected out of bounds by the Riders. 6 seconds on the shot clock here for the Suns. Substitution checking into the game for the Riders. Winterburn takes a break. Lappen Cooper into the game. Monacana.
Ooh, in and out.
Rattles it in and out, as described by Siobhan. Here's Hannah Robb now, Euro step of her own. Doesn't quite get it to go off the glass, but will retrieve and recycle possession here for the Riders. Smith. Now it's Stewart. Hands it off. Brewer. Goes to the jab to beat the buzzer. Riders can't find the rim, so that's a shot clock violation. Sevenoaks ball.
I mean, it doesn't show in the score. They have 12 points, but they have been a little disjointed today. Normally, like, the movement is so fluid offensively, the ball, you know, and the players themselves. Maybe they're just taking a little bit of time to settle in today.
Janaszewska into the game.
Woohoo!
Garrido Perez into the game. And the handoff here from Clark to Carr. Ball rotated round to the right-hand side. Great stand from Hannah Robb. Stewart will keep it in play. Robb gets up onto her feet, pushing the ball forward straight away.
She's always where she's supposed to be defensively, Hannah Robb.
3-ball from Brewer. Tipped by Janaszewska, but Monacana gets her hands onto the possession. Carr. Driving baseline. Caught in a trap with Stewart. Monacana driving to the paint. Rebounded by Zania Stewart. Now playing point center. And out of bounds. The hustle there from De Silva almost gets her fingertips to keep it into play.
Yeah, they've missed a couple around the rim, but that's not going to last for long. But, you know, like I said, with Z in there, it makes it harder for you to get easy scores around the rim. And you're just conscious of it. Even if she's not there, you're conscious that she might be.
Brewer on her tiptoes. Lappenkupper onto her left hand. Kicks it out to Brewer. Brewer with the pump fake. And another shot clock violation. Riders really being pushed to the end of their offense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. They just look a tiny bit disjointed. But I think, you know, Lappenkupper there, when you've only got a couple of seconds left, she should have really tried to get something up at the rim instead of passing it.
Clark. Oh, with the crossover. Clark to the right hand. Contested. Sevenoaks with the offensive rebound. Kat Carr now past to Monacana. Fires up a three off the back of the ring. Tells her teammates it's off. And the Riders will come up with the rebound. 12-15 the score. A steady start for both teams. 1:45 remaining here in the first. Lappenkupper inside Azania Stewart. First touch offensively inside the paint to have a scoring opportunity, and she is fouled. Foul called on number 12.
Yeah, they need to look at that more often because, you know, there's a big size advantage in there for Leicester right now.
First personal for Monacana. Second team substitution. Robin Janaszewska head to the bench. And checking into the game, Morris and Winterburn. Stewart on the line. And she'll knock down the first free throw for her first point of the game.
Just so much experience. The teams that she's played for, the coaches she's played under, the standard that she's played in. Must be really nice for, especially the younger ones on the Riders team, to learn from her.
To gain from her invaluable knowledge for sure.
Yeah.
And even us here, really, watching her play, you know,
yeah,
we're going to hopefully be able to learn. It's a shame that once again fans haven't had the opportunity to be here with us and witness her in person, especially young girls all around the East Midlands.
Yeah.
You know, have that opportunity to come and watch these games.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, it's great for the league to have players like Azania, you know, come back and she's been so successful and play the latter parts of her career here, and hopefully more players do that.
Lappenkupper forced to make a tough pass to Yanni Clark, putting on the pressure. Pick up the ball and all over her, like white on rice. That's a Dave Greenaway line there.
Like white on rice. That's not. It was more. What do they call them? Bad words. I heard.
Bad words.
Yeah, there was more bad words from Dave with that that saying.
Oh,
I
okay,
heard.
yeah.
And in the you know, on the training ground.
Big shout out to Dave Greenaway. It was his birthday not so long ago. I'm not
It
quite
was?
old he is. Big three from Morris off the bench. Locked in, lights out, 30 seconds to go, 1 point game. Carr. Bounce pass inside, beautiful bounce pass to find De Silva trailing through the paint. Now Lappenkupper, she's going to see this clock down. Lappenkupper all the way to the rack, throws it up, and De Silva will hold that calmly. And that's the end of the first quarter. A 3-point lead for the Sevenoaks Suns, 16-19. An exciting and steady start to this game, Siobhan.
Yeah, and you know, that's what you expect from both teams. I think Sevenoaks are doing what Sevenoaks do. They're finding open players. They're playing good half-court defense. They move the ball well and they move well themselves off the ball. So everything that you expect to see from them, really. I think we've got a little bit more in the tank for Riders, but again, a good start. They're only 3 points down. But we have to remember that they've got to win this game, not just win it, but win it by double digits. So they need to be looking to push on a little bit.
10 points in the paint for the Sevenoaks Suns, really working on getting to the rack at this moment in time, finding the teammates. A couple of moments they've there's been a couple of passes that have gone awry, but moments where they have found the trailer and somebody really capitalizing on the lack of size in the Riders roster today.
Yep.
But also in terms of turnovers, Riders had 5 turnovers in that court and 6 points from those turnovers for the Suns. Jesper Sundberg will be hopefully looking to close those out so that they can stay as efficient as possible, as you need to, against the top teams.
Yeah. And it's not just the turnovers, is it? It's when you play teams like Sevenoaks, like you said, they capitalise on them. So, you know, we mentioned a little bit earlier, Leicester do look just a little bit disjointed, not too much in their offence, but I'm sure that will settle down and that will come through.
Quick update for you, scores around the league, 1 minute 23 remaining in Oakland's 2-point game now. Oakland Wolves in the lead against the Caledonia Pride. A 10-point game as the Essex Rebels are also in the lead by 10, 41-31 against the Cardiff Met Archers. Lots of British Basketball League men's action going on today. It's all happening today in terms of basketball. The Riders men's team, the opportunity to lift the league title. And I know that today London are playing against the Glasgow Rocks, and a quite underhanded team. But as we've noted this season, the Glasgow Rocks have struggled this season, so hoping that the depth of their roster can continue to get those wins, just in the hope that a Riders slip-up occurs for them.
Yeah, I can't remember. I saw a little gif of Jamel Anderson today on Twitter, like a little excited gif, and I didn't realise that this was the day that they could win the BBL championship. So
Cat Carr gets it to go with the reverse, and Sevenoaks Suns doing everything within their power to bring the trophy home. I mean, you look at the schedule that the Sevenoaks Suns had early on in this season. You know, they were tasked with a lot of tough fixture scheduling or rescheduling, as you know, COVID procedures and the kind of misunderstanding of how the season was going to get underway forced them to kind of have a huge load of games towards the end, and a lot of people doubted them in being able to deal with that schedule, but credit to them, they've dealt with it and they haven't lost.
Yeah, they pushed a lot of their games back at the start of the season, so you know, it looks like it's probably benefited them. They were able to have Kat with them for the whole season, so that's definitely a positive for them. And yeah, you know, they're experienced players, so playing back-to-back games, they're smart enough to do that without killing themselves.
Here's Carr. Now with Garita Perez, passes it off to De Silva, finds a beautiful hand. The help defense, not seeing ball and man.
Yeah, they're getting some really nice looks inside, both off cuts and driving kicks, driving dishes.
Lappencooper now with Brewer, looking inside to Stewart. Turnover here for the Riders. This is not what you need against the Sevenoaks Suns. Beautiful bounce pass, and composure and a travel violation called there against Monacana. Unable to get it going early on here, 0 for 5. Substitutions checking into the game. Amber Smith, Hannah Robb, Lappencooper and Morris head to the bench.
She was unlucky with that one. I thought she recognised, I think there was someone behind her, and she had the awareness to put one extra dribble in and go to the other side and protect the ball with her body and the backboard, but got called for the travel.
Winterburn now finds Smith, jab and drive, and De Silva a little too late with the closeout, so forced the contact. Sideline possession, first personal, first team. This game flowing nicely. Not too many fouls have been called. Winterburn. Now Brewer drives baseline. Tries to find Hannah Robb on the baseline. Tayani Clark sniffs that one out. Gets both hands onto it and deflects it out of bounds. And again, Clark getting a hand onto the ball. Fake a pass to make a pass comes to mind.
Oh my gosh. It's just stuff that you learn at mini ballers. I don't know why, you know, it's not that hard, is it really?
No, I guess like at this level, people... Holly Winterburn with the one-legged floater from the elbow. I guess at this level, you know, you rely on the pace of play and the power of play to kind of get you through it. But those are the intangible, fundamental skills that, you know, you use to outsmart your opponents when the pace of play is matched by the opposition.
Can we just talk about Tiani Clark? Because you know, I mean, she doesn't get overshadowed by Kat because she's such an amazing player herself. But what she does for this team, she's almost like a coach on court. She's defensively, offensively all over the place. Look.
Yep, stripping away the ball there from Stewart.
Yeah, she is fundamental to every single win that they've chalked up over the last few years.
And in this game so far, currently has 8 points to her name, alongside 3 rebounds and an assist. Substitution for the Riders, looking to keep their legs fresh, coming off the back-to-back this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, she does it all, doesn't she? Like, she averages 8 rebounds for a guard. That's amazing, like in the league. Floor general, she runs the point.
She pulls up there from mid-range, rebounded by De Silva, knocked out of her hands, stays with the Sevenoaks Suns. And I'm going to say this in the most positive light, Tahir Clark, her body shape and athleticism has improved over her time. She's been here, she's got stronger, much more muscle definition, much slimmer, and as you know, it's completely helped her game.
Yeah, you can see that she clearly works on that, and as she gets down in the years in her playing career, it's important for any athlete that they take care of that.
10-point lead now for the Sevenoaks Suns, asserting their dominance here, as they have done all season long. Janaszewska inside to Holly Winterburn, who tries to seal, and that's out of bounds. Ball is going the other way. Timeout called by Jesper Sundsberg. He wants to talk it over. 6:35 remaining. The Sevenoaks Suns by 10. And it seems like the Riders just don't seem to have a reply for the scores on the opposite end of the floor, whilst they might be trying to force the Sevenoaks Suns to take tough shots. When they're on offense, they're really not getting good looks.
Yeah, I think they need to just stop a few of those scores and be able to run in transition themselves. So just looking at maybe picking the intensity up a little bit on defense. We've seen a couple of times that maybe they're able to guard the first action, and then there's a little bit of breakdown on rotation. So it'd be good for them to start to get a few stops, because they run so well in transition, and they've got young legs and against older legs of the Sevenoaks Suns. So it'd be good to see them get out in transition and put a little bit of pressure on the Suns in that way.
8 points apiece for Tahir Clark and Kat Carr. 4 assists for Kat Carr, 4 rebounds for Tahir Clark. The dangerous duo in the WBBL.
They really are. Every single season too, they do it with consistency.
And now the players making their way back onto the floor. We'll try and keep you up to date with all the scores that we have our eyes on. In the BBL, London Lions in the lead 63-45 against the Glasgow Rocks. The Plymouth Raiders 62-53 against the Sheffield Sharks. And we'll keep you up to date with some of the women's scores a little later on. Here's Bush back into the game. Clark almost fumbles it, keeps it alive. In the corner, Bush, pump fake drive. Great help defense from Lappenkupper. Winterburn trying to keep her hands active here. Clark finds a way to the rack. Where there is a will, there is a way.
And that's tough for Riders coming out of their timeout. They played really good defense, something that we said they needed to improve on, and that's hard to see that going at the end, but that's what Tahir Clark does.
Double digits for her on the scoreboard.
Just seems like a bit of a lack of energy from Riders at the minute.
And they know they have a tough task ahead of them. The Sevenoaks Suns had a little bit of a rest. A little one, should we say. But, they're taking full advantage of this opportunity. As Kat Carr fires one from a ridiculous range. I think the shot clock was winding down.
Yeah, maybe a little bit out of her range.
But still time for Riders to assert themselves in this game. They just need to be a little bit more patient. Take each play as it comes. And on the offensive end, be a little bit more of a threat. Here's Smith, fade away, mid-range, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Carr. The Suns pushing forward. Here's Tiani Clark. Bounce pass to Rene Bush. She's going to go for the reverse. Oh, that was right on the far side of the basket. Needed the spin and it hung in the air.
I thought it hit the stanchion. Saw it wobbling.
And Rob now winding up a 3. Lappenkupper.
They're the kind of shots they need. They're moving more now. They're getting more open shots.
And if they fall, they will keep them around in this game. As we know, they're already undersized, and so I'm guessing they're going to hope that their 3-point game is nice. Live by the 3, die by the 3.
You know, Hannah doesn't miss a lot of them, but they're the easy buckets there for Sevenoaks that they're getting. You know, a lot of cuts inside the key, little handoffs, little bounce passes.
Tiani Clark spin and dime there, by the way. Finding her teammate number 14, Katrin Holm, formerly of Anglia Ruskin. Here's Rob off the dribble. Hannah Robb keeps going to the rack for 2, stops the bleeding for the Riders.
Yeah, that was better. Better offense. Let's see if they can get a stop here and build on that.
In fact, only 4 points in this quarter total so far. Clark in the corner, guarded by Rob. She's going to drive baseline again, cuts inside. Kat Carr coming through the paint. Janaszewska does enough. Lappenkupper pushing all the way. Lappenkupper to the left hand for 2.
And that's where they're dangerous. They can get stops like that and then push on the break. That's where they're going to find success.
And hopefully close this gap a little. Love to watch close games of basketball. I do not like to watch blowouts, but you know, nonetheless, we can't control that. Here's Carr. Now out to Bush. Nice hands from Holly Winterburn. Blocks Bush in the corner. And out of bounds. Substitutions checking into the game. De Silva Monacana will check in. And for the Riders, Stewart and Robin Ainge will check into the game. And a timeout called this time by the Sevenoaks Suns as they concede 2 buckets in quick succession. Coach Len Bush will be having a word with his ladies just to try and keep the standards up, I'm assuming. Yeah,
I think it's probably just, you know, that recognition that, yes, they are still 10 points up, but that momentum, and that's a really hard thing to do, I think, as a coach. Having coached as well, it's easy to feel the momentum of the game as a player, but feeling that momentum as a coach, it's difficult. So I think he probably will just have felt, you know, over the last few minutes, since the timeout by Leicester, that things have been going their way a little bit, and he just doesn't want to let his team get into a hole, really, or lose the lead that they've got. So a smart timeout, I think.
Once again, a huge shout out to everybody tuning into today's stream live and direct on the WBBL YouTube page. Like, subscribe, share with your friends and family at WBBL Official on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You know the drill. Let everybody know you're supporting Women's British Basketball League action in the build-up to the playoffs. Myself, Tahir Hajat, alongside Siobhan Pryor for today's game. The Sevenoaks Suns with the chance to lift the title today. I don't know if the trophy is actually here.
I've not seen it.
I've not seen it either. I'm guessing they'll save that for a slightly different occasion potentially, because
I think they usually give it on the end, like their very last game though, because that happened to us before.
And that's away in Scotland.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit further. Needless to say, they're going to be lifting it on the road.
Yeah.
But what's important to them, I guess, is that they will be lifting it.
True. It is the weirdest thing, you know, though, because we've obviously like won in a big arena, and we've won the championship too. And you always see that debate: what's the best, winning in a championship or winning in a big arena? And it is weird. You like go through the whole season. We won. We'd lost no games one year. Home game against Sheffield, our rivals, and we lost that game at the end of the season. We had one loss and then had to lift the trophy at the end.
Yeah,
it was
really
weird.
Underwhelming feeling. But here's Kat Carr on the break now. Tough double team defense, and there is the reward on the opposite end of the floor.
The response you want out of a timeout.
100%, and Kat Carr now takes her tally to 11 points. Here's Ainge, skips it across to find Hannah Robb. Nice pass indeed. Now Robb finds Janaszewska off the dribble. Robb, 5 seconds on the shot clock, turns, tries the fancy footwork, can't get it to go, and the Sevenoaks Suns come up with the ball once again.
And they are playing really good individual defense. Like, they've really closing in on their assignment, Sevenoaks.
Carr. Nice hands from Holly Winterburn now. With Rob. Rob fires up a three. No good. Rebounded by Ainge. Rob driving to the bucket. This time, Euro step to the left hand. Falls a little short for her. And out of bounds, the Riders will keep it.
Yeah, they're getting shots. They are getting the shots that they want. Just not going in for them right now.
And substitution checking into the game. Renee Bush will check in, replacing Tiani Clark, who I don't think has sat down yet in this game.
Well-deserved rest, them.
Well-deserved rest for sure. Brewer, foul call under Silva. That will be her second personal, yep, third team. Catherine Holmes steps into the substitution box and will check into the game.
Yeah, not a lot of fouls called. We're like, there's only a minute left of the 2 minutes left of the first half. It's gone quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
That with the fact saying that I thought this game tipped at 4:30, so I almost missed the start of this game. So
you'd have been here by the end.
Yeah, I'm glad that I was prepared to come on time, because I made it in time. Here's Brewer now for three. Would have been huge for her if it went. Azania Stewart, offensive board, tries to fight for another rebound. Holm comes up with it at the opposite end, and Azania Stewart stays on the floor. Is getting back up onto her feet. Here's Carr, the assist. Monacana can't finish it. Offensive rebound. Second time is good for her. And a timeout called by Jesper Sundsberg. He wants to have a conversation with his team. 22-38, the Sevenoaks Suns putting on a show, Siobhan.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they're fighting and they have that energy. You know, you just seen their Janice, I think, got three offensive rebounds in one play and then put it back. So it's the energy that Leicester need to match, really, and that's what's lacking a little bit right now.
For sure, and some huge stat lines on the Sevenoaks Suns roster. Kat Carr, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Tiani Clark, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, racking up the numbers, doing it all for the Sevenoaks Suns on their journey to lifting a WBBL Championship trophy.
And they do. Both of those players do everything across the board. They absolutely stuff the stat sheet every game.
Oakland's Wolves 70 to the Caledonia Prize 60. Essex Rebels 62 to the Cardiff Met Archers 42, a 20-point lead for them. Essex Rebels have had a really positive season this year. I mean, they had a little bit of a lull over the past month and a half or so, but prior to that, really firing. In fact, handed Riders their first loss of the season as well.
Yeah, they did. We lost to them at their place as well. It's really nice to see them actually being so successful this year. They've got a great program down there. You know, really nice arena. Their game day experience is great. So yeah, I'm glad that they've picked up a few more wins.
Big shout out to my guy, Big Dog Ballin, who is the game day announcer, and Stan the man. Here's Winterburn with the spin, caught in the double team, tries the bounce pass, turnover for the Riders once again, and the Sevenoaks Suns will get this back. I just feel like the Riders are not going to have a great day. I mean, they've got 20 minutes once this half over to kind of get it back into this game, but the way that the Sevenoaks Suns are conducting themselves it's very tough to see any other result at this moment in time. Here's Bush.
Yeah, it does feel that way for sure.
Monacana, bounce pass now to Holm, kicks it out, Garina Perez. She'll pull up mid-range to beat the buzzer, no good, rebounded by Winterburn.
No, and I don't think it's nothing special, is it? It's nothing that makes you say wow with the Suns, apart from their just consistency. They're just doing all the small things well.
And executing for sure.
Yeah.
Substitution, foul called here on number 8 Bush for a hold. Riders will have it on the baseline. 24.9 seconds remaining, 16 seconds on the shot clock. Brewer. Hesitation, tries to find Ainge, throws it away a little here. Cat Carr hooks around Brewer to push the ball forward, keeps it under control. Now finds the bounce pass to home. Back out to Bush. Bush for three off the front of the ring, tipped away and out of bounds. End line possession. Leicester Riders get it back. 3 seconds on the clock, 22-38 the score. Interception here from home for two.
Good D.
And that is the end of the half. 22-40. The Sevenoaks Suns firing on all cylinders here at Loughborough University on their way to the potential WBBL Championship. Siobhan, what a half of basketball for them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like we said, they've just done what they do well. They've played solid half-court defense. They've really locked in on their own assignments, individually especially. And Riders have just found it difficult to get in a flow offensively. And then even on the defensive end, they are a little bit disjointed. I think probably the experience and IQ of Ella, they might be missing a little bit. That settles them down as well. And also, she's a long body, isn't she, defensively? So they're probably missing Ella a little bit today, I'd say.
Yeah, and 28 points in the paint for the Sevenoaks Suns. That's about 2/3 of their points. They've had 12 points from turnovers as well. And of course, a stunning performance from Cat Carr and Tiani Clark to give them this lead. For the Riders, really struggling at this moment in time. 0 second chance points. You know, they've made 11 turnovers in the first half. Really struggling to get themselves going. No player in double digits. Janaszewska with 5. Holly Winterburn, 4 rebounds. Sorry, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. 2 points apiece for Robin Lappencooper. 3 points for Smith. Maya Brewer has 2 points. Azania with 1 point. And Ema Morris with 3. Who do they look to kind of get themselves going in the second half?
Yeah, I think I was just thinking that what you said, who are they going to go to? But I think it's about just they have to think about what makes them tick as a basketball. What do they rely on? Like when times are tough, what is it that they do well and they can consistently rely on? And, you know, that has been defense and defense to offense. Really works for them, but I would be trying to get the ball inside a little bit more to Azania if possible. I think she could really exploit the size difference with Sevenoaks. Really, they have De Silva, but aside from that, you know, inside there's not a lot. So they need to look to get it inside to her. She's, you know, way more experienced than any inside player that Sevenoaks have.
And of course, it's the guards' defensive skill set that's really forcing them to have to take and make tough passes, almost closing off Azania Stewart inside, but when the ball is on the perimeter, really giving them a hard time, hassling the offensive players to make tough decisions overall. It is going to be tricky for the Leicester Riders going into this second half, but of course, in basketball, at this point of the game, nothing is impossible. So we can't write the Riders off at this moment in time. But the Sevenoaks Suns are well and truly on their way to lifting that WBBL Championship. We're going to take a break now for halftime. We'll be back around with 3 minutes until we get the second half underway. My name is Tahir Hajat alongside Siobhan Pryor, and we'll be back with you shortly. Good afternoon and welcome back to Loughborough University. WBBL Championship action, title on the line for the Sevenoaks Suns. They are in the lead 22-40 as we get ready to get this second half underway. My name is Tahir Hajat, alongside me today Siobhan Pryor. Siobhan, an exciting first half for the Sevenoaks Suns, not so exciting for the Riders, but we've just witnessed a very stern talking to on court from Azania Stewart.
Yeah, and that's what they need right now. I've had the privilege of playing with Z, just not many games, but just a couple of windows with GB, and she's the honesty that you need a lot of the time, and not just honesty but insightful. She knows what's going to help the team, and she leads like with her behaviors from the front as well, so you want to listen to her. You want to do what she says, and you value what she says. So I'm sure she will have given some really helpful insights and
few stern words, of course.
Let's not
sugarcoat this. When you're in that team, it might look pretty from the outside. You don't think everybody's talking to each other nicey, but that's not the case.
No.
If your teammate needs to hear the hard truth, that's what the kind of foundation of a successful team is. There's no room for dishonesty and niceness, as I've just explained.
I agree. And Z's really good at that too, but she does it in a positive way as well, but it still hammers home that message, and she'll get across what she needs to get across.
Interesting question from Coach Krumesh Patel. What's your guys' team of the year choice? I mean, that is a very tough one.
We can just choose 5.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, so I'm going to go Kat Carr, Kennedy Leonard. I can't even pick Jazz because she's injured now. Give her some time, man. You can't just throw that out there, and I need a little bit of time to think about this. I'm going to go Holly as well, Holly Winterburn.
We'll come back to you in the third quarter break then to think about that. You got this quarter to figure that one out.
All right, okay.
But rightly so, if you have any comments on who you think this year's, let's say, starting 5 or team of the year is, and even if you want to include a bench, include it in the comment section here on YouTube live on the WBBL official page. Coach Krumesh, you that interested in WBBL, you might as well come back. Signing contracts over in Sweden, you might as well come back here if you want to keep within the league.
Signing WBBL players too.
Exactly. Foul is called here. Foul called on number 6. Holly Winterburn. And the ball back into play here. Here's Carr. Hands it off to Bush, catches it back. Lappenkupper does show a baseline. Carr sees it. Just falls short her shot and knocked out of play. Riders will get possession back. I'm
thinking that. I feel like that's thrown me. I'm not even focused on the game right now. All I'm doing is going through the players in my head.
I can focus on the game for you. You can deal with that challenge.
No, I'm good. I can do 2 things at once,
Here is Lappenkupper. I definitely can't do 2 things at once. That's for sure.
I'm not goading you into like a feminist conversation here.
No, let's not do that. Oh no, listen, after learning and being a father, right, I have the utmost respect for women. Women are by far the superior gender.
Keep going.
No, listen, for sure. If anybody ever goes through that experience, all my hats, you can have them all. I take them off to you. Here's Carr. Interception now for Hannah Robb, pushing forward here for the Riders. Robb to the bucket with the reverse layup. Can't get the composure to finish here. Back into the hands of Kat Carr. Garrido Perez, nice dribble and step to the rack. A fight for the rebound as Azania Stewart gets her hands on possession.
A lot better energy defensively, especially from Riders.
A very, very stern warning to the assistant coach of the Leicester Riders, Antonio Quintero, Neil Wilkinson, and I quote, "If your assistant wants to help me, he can do it from outside of the gym." I just want to make sure you guys are hearing everything we're hearing here at Loughborough University. Here's Lappenkupper. Here's Azania Stewart looking for that seal in the post, double teamed. Hands it off at the elbow, and a foul is called. Number 1, De Silva. I feel like if she'd have just stood strong there, like with her hands up, clean.
She had position, didn't she?
Yeah, but because she leaned forward almost and hunched over, the foul has been called.
Yeah, I think she caught her on her arm as well. It's like she's got a stinger.
Smith is currently dealing with this pain at this moment in time. Substitution checking in for the Suns. I think that's De Silva's third personal, as Monacana will check into the game. And Amber Smith holding her shoulder.
Yeah.
Will have to be substituted. Jesper Sundberg hopefully trying to find a solution to the problem here. We do have some physios in the building.
Might be a time for Leicester to capitalise though, with Zania inside with De Silva off.
And here is Stewart. Stewart holding it tight and one.
So I'm like some sort of oracle, you know.
Yeah.
I say it and it happens.
Mystic Meg. She had her magic 8-ball out, shaking the ball. Will Azania Stewart get a 3-point play here? Yes.
I knew it. I knew it. Remember the magic 8 balls? Did you have one?
I never had one. I was that guy that went to my friend's house and they always had one, and I'd check it and I'd be like, nah, this is not right. Can I make jump shots? No, of course this is incorrect.
Yeah. It was only ever right when you wanted it to be.
Yeah, of course, of course. As with any kind of, you know, what are they called? Oh, the fortune telling.
Yeah, like the fate stuff.
Yes,
like the, all
how
that.
is the word? Not horoscopes. That's the word.
Oh, yeah, like when you're born. And
yes,
sorry,
of
you
course.
continue commentating, my bad.
The foul is called. 2 shots to come here. And it's a first personal foul on Janaszewska. 25-40. 8 minutes, 4 seconds remaining. Tiani Clark, chance to put the first points on the board for the half for the Sevenoaks Suns, and that bounces off the back of the ring. Good news is that Amber Smith has walked back onto the court side and looks in a lot less discomfort. And Tiani Clark not converting from the free throw line, and the Riders with a chance here to close the gap.
It's unusual for her to miss from the line.
Rob eyes up the 3. Hard hedge there by Monacana. Janaszewska catch and shoot for 3, just off to the right. Lappenkupper will fight for the offensive rebounds. Riders second chance.
Just a lot
Winterman.
better energy, isn't it, from Riders? Offensive rebounds, a lot better defensively.
And body language,
Yeah.
for sure. Winterburn fires it up to beat the buzzer off the side of the ring. Rebounded by Clark. Marina Perez. Back out, Kat Carr. Bounce pass to Monacana on the free throw line. Ball fake, tries to find Carr, does beautiful pass back to her, great IQ. Can't get the shot to go. Here's Rob pushing forward now for the Riders. Rob going all the way, forced outside, and I believe the shot clock was at an error here. So the Riders will get possession back. It did seem that they were in the flow, so they'll be a little annoyed with that, but chance to get a quick breather.
Good stop as well. I think that was a zone they showed there. A little bit something different defensively.
And here is Rob curling off the screen from Stewart. Lappenkupper off the dribble. Clock winding down. Holly Winterburn driving baseline. Finds Rob, but spills possession. Here's Tiani Clark getting it over halfway. Bullet pass to the middle. Garida Perez finds Kat Carr. Kat Carr left hand and one. Gets it to go for the Sevenoaks Suns.
Yeah, it's just, experience. Solid play defensively. Perez could have taken that herself, but Carr had a better shot, a better look at it. More open look.
Substitution checking into the game for the Leicester Riders. Number 10, Maya Brewer, replaces number 12. And Lappenkupper, we mentioned that we would like to see a little bit more from the American imports here from the Riders, just to really help them up their numbers on the scoring front. And Maya Brewer has shown that she has been able to do that at times throughout the season, so hopefully they can look to her to get that going.
Yeah, they've got to, start to maybe put the team on their back a little bit. Someone needs to. Someone's got to have that spark for them.
Kickball violation. Riders will get it back. Fresh 14 seconds on the shot clock for them.
Suns are doing a great job on Azania though.
Nice flash inside. Here's Stewart again. And a layup is a little underpowered, but stays with the Riders off the hands of Rene Bush. Riders get a second chance of executing their inbound play here. Stewart hands it off to Rob, coming in out of bounds. Winterburn skips to the corner. Brewer has room. There it is. Exactly what the Riders needed to get Maya Brewer going, and she knocks down the 3 from the baseline.
Nice find by Holly at the top, because again she could have took that shot, but found a wide open Brewer.
Carr looking for a reply. Here's Janaszewska with the rebound. Winterburn. Now with Brewer once again, back-to-back threes for Maya Brewer. The Riders need it. 12-point gap.
That is what they need. She's got to continue to score. Now they got to get a stop.
Very correct in saying the zone 2-3 zone here from the Riders are forcing them to take a different type of shot, the Sevenoaks Suns, and they're taking a little time to adjust to that at this moment. Here's Brewer again. Catches off the drive. Kat Carr just falls out of the hand of Monicana, who seems a little off her pace today. And a timeout called by the Sevenoaks Suns. Coach Len Bush has seen enough, and Riders starting to climb the mountain once again. 31-43, 5 minutes 15 left to play here in the third.
Yeah, and maybe just that switch up of defense, just making Sevenoaks a little bit discombobulated at the minute.
That's a good word, discombobulated, yeah.
I really like that word. I'm glad I managed to get that one in. So yeah, maybe Len. It'll be interesting to see what Riders come out in, if they stay with the zone after Len's had time to talk it over with his players, or
switch it up to a different type of zone, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, my favorite type of zone is a 1-3-1.
Unless you're at the back, that is the worst type of zone. Running and running and running and running.
Well, you know, being an average sized person and an average scorer over the, I could do a bit of everything, but for me, defense was the one thing that Coach really praised me on.
Yeah,
and I used to love being that guy at the back of the zone, just running baseline. So that was me.
You know why I like zones though? Not the back of that zone, but if I'm at the back of like a 2-3, a 3-2, I really enjoy like watching it play out in front of me and instructing people, and it's almost like a game of chess. I really enjoy that part of it.
Listen, until it comes to junior basketball, zone is the life for me. I'll tell you that much now anyway. End line possession here for the Riders, getting back the ball into play. Here's Brewer. Got it by Carr. Brewer, she started to feel the hot hand after we've just mentioned they need her.
Yep.
And she will close the gap back down to 10. Nice interception here for Holly Winterburn now. The Riders pushing forward. Winterburn, ball fake, right hand. Can't get the shot to go. Bobbles off the front of the ring with the ball fake there. Would have been a beautiful, but here's Rob now. Great intense play from the Riders on defense, and a foul has been called. That foul will be, I believe, called on Tayani Clark.
They cannot believe it.
Len Bush quite can't believe this call here, and then having an interesting conversation with the referee about it. Her second personal foul for Clark. Substitution here for the Suns as De Silva would check in, and for the Riders, Emma Morris would check into the game.
It's an interesting call. It was.
Yeah, I've not really had a chance to look that back. No action replay here per se, but I'm not quite sure if Hannah Robb got the first touch kind of, and then maybe Clark attained possession, and in between there the contact happened, and that's the only way that I could see the foul being called on Tayani Clark.
Either way, so again, like out of that timeout. Oh, and another one, but Leicester came out strong there defensively again.
And another chance for the Suns to talk it over. The Riders have closed the gap down here to 10. They're going to need to do a lot more, but they have started in a positive fashion. lost the second quarter 21-6, lead this quarter 11-3.
Yeah.
You know, a similar quarter score here will put them in a good position to potentially throw an upset out there. You know, at half time we were mentioning, oh yeah, this is done. Like, Sevenoaks Suns, here's the trophy. In fact, the trophy's not here, etc. But no, Riders, this is exactly what, you know, the whole country wants to see. They want to see the Riders fighting back.
Yeah.
And they are doing that just now.
Yeah, they are. And, you know, that's just what they need to continue doing. It's going to be a tough ask for them to do that for the rest of the second half and keep Sevenoaks under control offensively. But you never know. It's a good start.
Maya Brewer there, you know, we mentioned she was really quiet, hit 2 back-to-back threes and a tough drive against Kapkar on her way to the rack, really starting to get things going. Hopefully the Riders can continue to look to her for a scoring option.
Yeah.
And to keep the ball rolling for them.
Quick 8 points from here. And also if they step up the guard play, it means that Sevenoaks just have to guard a little bit further out and maybe just space the floor a little bit for Azania inside there.
And time called back in. Sideline possession. And Len Bush and the referee have made friends again.
Very forgiving of Len.
Here's Winterburn. You know, more often than not when, nice spin
Nice move.
to the left hand, can't get it to go. More often when coaches and referees do have a moment to explain one another, then they often do come to the level of agreement.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
No, it's important. I think that's what I like most with referees, when they have those conversations.
And the Riders come up with another defensive rebound. Vinia De Silva's shot was no good. Here's Brewer. Brewer onto the right-handed floater. Bobbles off the ring once again. Clark caught in a trap here. Winterburn and Brewer not reaching in too quickly, but full court pressure from the Riders, and the Suns get it over. Clark. With the spin, Clark caught in a trap, finds De Silva, throws it. Renee Bush keeps it alive. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Kapkar trying to beat the shot clock, does so for 2.
Yeah, Sevenoaks needed that. I was just about to say that Leicester are getting the stops they need. They just need to get scores, and Kat's just settled them there, Sevenoaks.
And for sure, the important part is here's Stewart to the rack, off the glass for 2. The important part is Riders not allowing to have that first opportunity to score the ball. They're really forcing them right down into the depths of that shot clock, and making her take a shot under pressure. Unfortunately for them, Sevenoaks Suns have got some ladies who deal well with pressure.
Yeah, experience. There
Clark
we go.
blocked at the ring here by Azania Stewart. Holly Winterburn pushing the ball forward. Brewer steps up mid-range. Maya Brewer closes the gap to 8. Riders chipping away.
It's possible.
And here's Clark. Staying with this 2-3 zone. Bush now for 3. Fires it up, knocks it down. And that is pretty much the Sevenoaks Suns zone offense. Find Renee open.
Yeah, just give it to Renee.
Give it to Renee and let her knock it down for you.
Yeah, and as a shooter, you know, when you see a zone on the court, you're like, yes.
Yes, my time to shine.
Yeah.
Here's Brewer, slips a little, trying to keep it alive, hands it off to Stewart, hand off to Winterburn. Winterburn drives baseline, still keeps it, trying to find another teammate now out of bounds, stay with the Riders. Shot clock violation as the buzzer sounds. And substitution checking into the game. Lapan Cooper and Robin Ainge will check in.
Yeah, Brewer's coming out now, so someone else is going to have to step up. One, 3. Are they back into man or? Yeah.
Yeah, so back into man-to-man defense.
They don't want to see that too many times.
And now De Silva. Up against Morris. Oh, Winterburn was there in time. Tayani Clark to the left hand. A fight for the rebound into the hands of Morris. I thought that was a clean charge, by the way.
Yeah, I thought that was a good stand.
The foul is called. Foul is called the number 11. 11? No, 1.
To Silver, is that her fault?
Yeah, I believe so. It was called on number 1. There's no number 11 on the court, so hoping that's the... No, it's first personal. Who she called that on? Might have been called
Perez.
Perez, yeah.
Yeah.
31. Here's Morris for 3. Bobbles over the side of the ring. Would have been a huge 3 for the Riders if it fell. Clark. Trying to spin away from Lappenkupper. Lappenkupper caught on the screen. Morris is switched onto her. And an interception from Lappenkupper, and Riders keep it.
It was better defense, you know, pressure in the ball.
Janaszewska off the dribble, onto the right hand. Janaszewska off the glass, no good. Question from Chester Donnelly. No, Sevenoaks have not won the league yet. They win it as it stands at this moment in time. But if Riders win by 12, it comes to their game against the Caledonia Pride, which they must win to secure the game. But at this moment, it seems like the Sevenoaks Suns are in pole position to win the league.
Yeah.
50 seconds left to play. Winterburn. Janaszewska for 3! Katie Janaszewska lights out.
You know what's nice to see is that she's obviously been allowed to play that. She shoots when she's open, she drives when she can. She's playing confidently. She doesn't play like a young one.
Here's Janaszewska now, floats it off the backboard and in for 2. Katie Janaszewska closed the gap to 6. 20 seconds on the clock remaining here in the third quarter. Kat Carr. Morris putting on the pressure. Tries the bounce pass, deflected out of bounds. Sevenoaks possession. No shot clock, 10.2 on the clock. Substitution checking into the game. Azania Stewart checks in. Holly Winterburn to the bench.
And it's those little plays Holly just made there. You probably won't have seen it, and we don't get the instant replay, but she was the last defender, and she came across, and she looked Kat in the eye, and she made her make a decision. She faked one way. You know, it's those little plays that they don't get on the stat sheet, but dagger.
3 from the Silver with a hand in her face. Janaszewska from behind the half. And that is the end of the third quarter. A much better quarter for the Leicester Riders. The Sevenoaks Suns still in the lead. A 20-8 quarter for the Riders. But it gives them that glimmer of hope that they need going into the fourth and final quarter to say that this can be done for them, essentially.
Yes.
The Sevenoaks Suns will take that as motivation.
Yeah, and I think, you know, for Sevenoaks, they've also had, Janice hasn't had the best game yet, so she starts to get into a rhythm. They have got, you know, weapons there that haven't almost been unloaded yet. So, but even with Leicester coming back, and I just think that Sevenoaks, you know, they trust themselves so much. They've been in so many positions where they've had to rely on their experience. They've had to rely on each other. It is still quite a difficult task for Leicester, but you're right. Like, as long as they keep continuing to play defense well, and they have another quarter like they just had, you never know.
For sure. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals for Kat Carr. 12 points for Maya Brewer, who's blossomed here in this second half. 10 points for Janaszewska, 4 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals for Holly Winterburn, and 10 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal for Tayani Clark, the stat leaders in this game. Had any more chance to think about your top 5 or your team of the year, or should we give you until the end of the game?
I don't think I can do it. I feel like let's just put KJ in. She's had a great game today. I don't know. You know, I was thinking about like inside players, because obviously I would have gone with Jazz, from our team, Jasmine Joyner. But Cara Elderkin's been playing really, really well from Durham, so she's had a really good second part to the season, and she's a tough post.
Maybe Chantel Charles in there.
I like Chantel Charles too. Yeah. Oh, I didn't say Breen either. I didn't say Breen.
Yeah. Steph Ume off the bench.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
really like her too.
Sevenoaks Suns get us underway here in the fourth and final quarter. Their chance at winning the WBBL League Championship. Here's Bush. Nice hands from Lappenkupper, and it's off of the hands of Rene Bush. And the Riders will get it back.
Nice to hear the bench getting involved as well. That's the energy that they'll need to.
A sense of belief for sure behind this revived Riders here in the second half. Lappenkupper. Now with Winterburn. Back into the hands of Lappenkupper, skipped across to Ainge, looking inside for Xenia Stewart. De Silva almost slightly overplaying Xenia Stewart there. Need to rethink the type of pass that they're getting into Stewart.
Yeah, I was just going to say that was just a bad pass. A little bit higher and a little bit more towards the baseline. She would have had a layup.
Winterburn. Hard dribble. Ainge for three. Off the back iron. Tiani Clark will collect, and that's a double-double for her.
Doing a great job on the defensive glass. Sevenoaks as a team.
Carr. One-on-one with Lappenkupper. Carr picks up possession. De Silva. Closed out by Stewart. Rene Bush blocked by Xenia Stewart, who steals it away from her possession. Here's Winterburn. Winterburn. Brewer. Oh, wasn't ready to shoot the ball there, Brewer. And it bobbles over. She takes the tough shot.
Surprising. I thought she was going to. She just made two.
Kat Carr pulls up on the dime. Mid-range, can't get it to go. I mean, with her shooting prowess here in the second half, feet set, I'm dying to shoot that ball when it comes to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd shoot it even if I wasn't ready.
Holly Winterburn back to basket, one dribble, right hand hook, fundamentals in the post.
Yeah, it was pretty. She's so versatile, Holly.
Hasn't had the same scoring game as she had yesterday against the London Lions.
Sevenoaks would have been in trouble if she did.
And a nice hands from Xenia Stewart once again, and a foul is called. Xenia Stewart puts her hands up, almost gets the block under Silva, but she'll get to go to the free throw line for two shots. Substitution for both teams. Monacana will check in, and Janaszewska will check in. Brewer will take a break. Amber Smith doesn't look like she will be checking back into the game.
Yeah, she hasn't been in for a while.
But she is sitting on the bench. De Silva. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. And keeps the Sevenoaks Suns in front, 9-point game. Janaszewska. Now with Winterburn. Janaszewska fires it for three from the corner. Katie Janaszewska having a ball game right now.
Kid's unstoppable. I love to see it. Does anything make you feel as good as watching a kid that you know that works so hard do so well?
No, it doesn't for sure. And many years in coaching junior basketball is one of the main motivations as to why I did it. And seeing her improvement has been incredible. Here's Winterburn now, finds Stewart on the roll, mid-range for two. Xenia Stewart makes this a 4-point game, 6 minutes 50 on the clock here in the fourth and final quarter.
There's long enough to go. There is long enough to go if they can keep with the run. They're back into the zone.
Reno Perez. Now with Clark. Monacana slips into that gap between the two guards. Clark has room for three, fires it up. Xenia Stewart with the defensive rebound. It's up to Riders now. If they capitalize on these defensive stops, Janaszewska again bounces off the side of the ring to her and out of bounds. Riders will keep it. Mistake from Clark, and she slaps the ball in frustration.
It's a great pass by Holly to see that cut.
Lappenkupper. The inbound offense here. Janaszewska skips out. Mid-range, 2 for Janaszewska. A little unsure about that shot. Carr.
She's too open, maybe.
Yeah, sometimes you just are.
Yeah.
Carr. Rita Perez. De Silva. Skipped across Kat Carr. All alone for 3. And she is never too open to be knocking down threes.
Yeah, and that's that, you know, just a little bit of a lapse there defensively. You can't let that happen against Kat.
And that killer instinct coming into the game for Kat Carr, who now has 21 points. And still with possession here. Finding De Silva long 2 off the back of the ring, rebounded by Winterburn.
Well, if there is a player that's going to settle Sevenoaks back into a bigger lead, it will be Kat and Tiani, I'd say.
Ainge now for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Lappenkupper. Skips it back out to Winterburn. Top of the 3-point line. Short pass to Lappenkupper. Keeps it alive. Lappenkupper to the left. Nice move from her. Set her body nicely to open up and finish. And closes the gap once again down to 5. Just under halfway here in the 4th and final quarter of this WBBL Championship game. Highly anticipated between the Riders and the Sevenoaks Suns. Here's Carr. Slips away from Monacana. Here's Robin Ainge on the opposite end of the floor. Layup all alone for 2. And the timeout is called as the Riders close their gap down to 3. The Sevenoaks Suns have led by as many as 18 in this game. And the Riders have been phenomenal in this second half. And now within 3 points of the Sevenoaks Suns. But of course, they need another 12 points, or sorry, 15 points in total to get themselves into the position that they want to be.
Yeah, they get to that 56 mark, or they get to that tie mark, and then they've got to put another 12 on them. It is going to be difficult, but they're fighting for it, and that's what you want to see. That's what makes the game exciting. I think there was a bit of a lack of energy in the first half, so it's really nice to see that energy's back. And now interesting to look at the Sevenoaks bench and in the Sevenoaks timeout. You know, maybe their energy's just waning a little bit, but I'm sure Kat and Tiani will pull that back for their team.
I guess Jesper Sundsberg looking at half-time, they're 28 points in the paint. That was the figure. Now it's only 32. Switching to that zone defense has really made it very difficult for the Sevenoaks Suns to get 2 feet in the paint and finish A in transition and B inside off of those cutting actions that we were seeing in the first half as well.
Yeah, definitely. And you have got Rene out there, and you have got guards that can shoot, but he's obviously, you know, looked at what was hurting them, and he's made a calculated decision. And with Azania in there in the 2-3, in the middle of that 2-3, he's protecting the paint, which is what Sevenoaks have exploited the most. So, yeah, good decision.
Time call back in. Suns now back into action. Here with Carr. They've switched up the zone defense here. Almost. And Kat Carr finds room again for 3. Rebounded by Stewart. It almost looked like they went to a 3-2 very briefly.
They just pushed it out a little bit further on the sides, didn't they, from the baseline.
Brewer back into the game. Brewer, tight angle. Kat Carr does enough to put her off. Behind the back, Kat Carr. Hands it off to Monacana. Drive into the right hand, rolls out. It's just not been her day today.
Yeah, she struggled a little bit in the last few games, but it's interesting because once one go...
Janaszewska for 3 once again. She is feeling it.
She's not even smiling. I know she's having a party inside because she literally is just walking back like, yeah, I do this all the time against the best team in the WBBL.
16 points, 4 for 5 from 3-point territory for Katie Janaszewska. Off of the foot here for Robin Ainge, and a sideline possession for the Sevenoaks Suns. 14 seconds on the shot clock for them, 3 minutes 32 remaining, and a tied ball game. Riders now need a 12-0 run. Is what they need, essentially.
I'm saying they can do it. What do you think?
I mean, I'm saying it would be great for Women's British Basketball League action if they could do it. But I feel like the Sevenoaks Suns are going to make it very tough for them. Here's Bush.
Yeah, they will.
Monacana stripped away here now by Brewer. Miscommunication on the pass. Maya Brewer throws it up with the reverse and didn't get the look that she wanted.
She lost her footing a little bit, didn't she?
Yeah, and now Sevenoaks Suns with another chance to put on the pressure. Bounce pass now to Tiani Clark. Tiani Clark 2 feet in the paint. Can't get it to go off the glass. Robin Ainge tips that to Brewer, who's on the floor. Here's Winterburn.
Basketball. Basket is the best game, isn't it?
Holly Winterburn splits the defenders all the way to the rack for 2. Screaming the captain to her teammates, urging them to get another stop here. Riders in the lead by 2, only 10 points to go.
I'm just going to take this time to give a bit of a shout out to Sue, KJ's mum. I know she'll be going mad at home watching that. 16 points. Nice pass.
Beautiful pass from Clark to find De Silva, and the Sevenoaks Suns showing, no, we're still here. You still got to do a lot more than that to stop us in this game. Or it's a tied ball game at this moment in time. Having a brief conversation with Jesper Sundsberg, I mentioned to him, you know, even if they didn't, you know, win this game by 12, it would be nice for them to just win this game as Janicevska fires up another one. Just also in the essence of having a one win against the other, mentally going into the playoffs, you don't want to feel like any team is unbeatable as Bush fires up a 3 for the Suns, tipped into the hands of Janicevska.
Yeah, and it would be for them, it would be, even if they didn't win by the margin that they needed to win the league, it would be good for their psyche.
Brewer for 3, knocks it down. 1 minute 45. Riders giving this a good go. A very good go. Monacana tries to step through. Foul is called. Oh, we have a contact lens situation. Oh, these are the worst.
They are.
This has definitely happened to me before. Contact lens on the floor and you find it, and right, I ain't got time to clean this. It's got to go back in my eye. Hope for my eye to be able to wash this. Substitution checking back into the game. Number 12, Lappenkupper will replace number 8, Robin Ainge.
I once had I got poked in the eye and got my contact lens split.
Whoa, I've had
lost it, like up the top of my eyelid, couldn't find it, had to come up.
Yeah, I know that feeling. The worst feeling in the world. But then, of course, you don't want to stop playing, so
no.
You keep going, and Monacana continuing.
Struggles, isn't she?
Yeah, her struggles of scoring in this game, which is working in Ryder's favour, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But, you know, Coach Len Bush is probably, like, inside thinking, come on, at least get me one here. Unable to do so, but an offensive rebound for Kat Carr. Not what the Riders wanted. Renee Bush finds De Silva. De Silva up top with Clark. Now back into the hands of Bush. With the jab and the drive. Tries to shake off the defender. Does so. Renee Bush for 3. And it hits the wiring, which means the Riders will get possession back. 1 minute 19 on the clock. Substitution checking into the game. Garina Perez will check in.
And they're still, you know, Riders are making Sevenoaks take difficult shots. Renee is less effective off of the step back or the dribble 3 than she is off of a set shot. So they know that, and they're honing in on their assignments a little bit better than they were in the first half.
Lappenkupper hands it off to Brewer. Brewer driving baseline, 2 feet in the paint, goes up strong. Azania Stewart, offensive board, and in for 2. Screams with excitement. Azania Stewart, Lappenkupper puts it on the pressure here. Under around 50 seconds to go. Tayani Clark here, working her way to the paint, off the glass, rebounded by Stewart. And Jesper Sundberg is now, after saying, calm down, ladies, pushing them forward, really, or what does he want? I'm not quite sure.
They need to go quickly.
Yeah, if they were thinking about coming close to this game, you know, it's realistic, but here's Winterburn with the crossover. Hands it off to Lappenkupper. Finds Janicevska again for 3. Janicevska, and a fight for the rebound. Azania Stewart back to Holly Winterburn. And the shot clock wasn't supposed to sound.
Should have reset.
We'll reset to 14 seconds. And it does look like the Sevenoaks Suns will come away now as league champions. But, you know, as you mentioned, it's that uncertain circumstance of losing the game that you're in, but still becoming league champions. It's a weird one, isn't it?
It is weird.
You know, they would really much like to win this game and do it in that fashion. But nonetheless, you take it 100%. It's well
League
earned.
title's a league title.
A league title is a league title. Another one for the trophy cabinet.
And they still have the game against Caledonia to go out on a win.
Lappenkooper. Here's Winterburn. Now back to Lappenkooper. Janaszewska setting the screen. Clock winding down. Lappenkooper driving to the rack. To the left-hand, foul is called on her way to the bucket. Foul is called on De Silva.
Just wonder what would have happened if Leicester started with this energy.
It would have been a completely different game. Fourth personal foul on De Silva has taken one to the chin. A little bit of blood here, so will be required to come off, and Catherine Holm will check into the game for the Sevenoaks Suns.
It's a tough game, WBBL.
Physical.
Not for the faint-hearted.
No, it is not for the faint-hearted. And when there's blood on the court, that means we'll have a short stoppage of play, and will be required to be cleaned up appropriately. Yeah, Sadie is true. She's saying, listen, you're going to make sure you disinfect that. That's the rules of the game. Doing it all.
She's funny. She is like, you missed a spot.
And I believe we'll get that all cleaned up. So please do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Who is your today's game MVP? Let us know. Although the Sevenoaks Suns are pretty much secured here, the WBBL Championship, it's the Riders who look like they will see out this game. So who is your game MVP? Who you got down there? I feel like I know who you're going to pick. So.
Listen, I'm biased, but I'm going to go with KJ.
Yeah. She revitalised the team.
She did. But you got to look at Brewer as well, haven't you? Because it was those points in that third quarter that really pushed them ahead as well.
She has 15 points, Brewer. Janaszewska with 16 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in her favour. Stewart now with Lappenkooper. Lappenkooper is driving all the way, finds Janaszewska again for 3. Rattles in and out, rebound for Brewer, finds Azania Stewart, and that is the end of the game. And the Leicester Riders women's team will celebrate that win as they feel like they had the opportunity there to get one over against the Sevenoaks Suns. But weirdly, the Sevenoaks Suns are your official WBBL champions of this season. And whilst they are walking off a little slow and demotivated, maybe they're saving this celebration for the Caledonia Pride game.
They look a little surprised that Riders are so, excited. But I think, the thing is, it's good to see that, because they understand that going into the playoffs, winning a game like that is big.
It's absolutely massive, because it proves that come the final, come the wherever arena we're playing at, I think it's the Morningside Arena, Leicester, so it should be hometown. Well, not hometown because they play here at Loughborough University. It proves that they can beat this team, and they are beatable. And Coach Len Bush will now be having that conversation with these girls to say, look, we can be beaten if we don't show up for 40 minutes of basketball. And that's a sign to the rest of the WBBL. It's an open game now. Yeah,
and the other thing is, for me, is you don't want a team to go through. If I can mess up your 0-loss season, I'm messing it up, and I'm taking joy. I'm enjoying it, and I'm adding another one on to your loss column right now. I'm going to enjoy it.
Well, there it is. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Officially, your WBBL champions are the Sevenoaks Suns, but the Leicester Riders take this game 64-58. One more game for the Sevenoaks Suns. They travel to take on the Caledonia Pride, which I'm sure they will celebrate if they win in taking on that title. So phenomenal performances across the board. So let's think about that game MVP. Your official game MVP for me, please, Siobhan.
Janaszewska,
16 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds for her, really got them going. Holly Winterburn, close to a triple-double, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals to her name, 15 points for Maya Brewer. Get this, Azania Stewart, though, 10 points, 18 rebounds. On the index, she takes it on the index, if we think about it that way. From the Sevenoaks Suns, the stats leaders, Lavinia De Silva, 11 points, 6 rebounds. Tayani Clark, she had 10 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists to her name. Kat Carr, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. And actually not much coming off the bench for the Sevenoaks Suns. Only 4 points from home and 2 points from Monacana. So there you have it. Siobhan has picked Katie Janaszewska with 16 points. I think I am going to go with Azania Stewart. Because whilst those girls put in the action, I think it was that halftime talk that she had with them.
She's led from the front.
Listen, it's go time. No matter what happens, whatever the result is, we're winning this game. And they celebrate it like they just won the league. So I personally am going to give it to Azania Stewart. You've got your chance in the comment section to let us know what your thoughts are. But that is it. Here, the last home game at Loughborough University for the Riders women's team against the Sevenoaks Suns. The WBBL playoffs are coming up. Make sure you like, subscribe and share. Tell all your friends and family. Let's elevate the women's game and the British basketball game overall. My name has been Tahir Hajat alongside Siobhan Pryor, and we will catch you hopefully very, very soon.